Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's me again, Stephen Goldberg. And yeah, today I'm gonna interview the band Rectal Smegma, the PornoGrind band that I just told you guys about a video ago. So, without a moment, no matter what, let's just get to the interview, alright? Here we go. I hope you guys all enjoy it. So, enough of me chit-chatting, let's do this shit. Hello?
Hey there.
Hey, how's it going?
All right, how are you?
Oh, just fine. So, oh wow, I really like the way your house looks.
Wait, the connection is a bit shitty, but it's probably my crappy internet.
Yeah, it might be my internet too.
Oh, fuck, I see I'm on the wrong network. Give me a second here to get on the right network.
Alright, sure, go
I
ahead.
might disconnect first.
Hello? Sorry guys, having a little bit of a technical difficulty right here. Hello?
Here we go.
Alright, I can can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear and see you actually. You cannot see me?
Oh, no, I can't.
Oh, wait, let's turn off.
Oh,
Here
there
we
you
go.
go. There you go.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, everything's all good. I gotta say, it's a pleasure to talk to you.
Yeah, likewise, man.
Been looking-
Thank you for having an interest in retarded people that make stupid music.
Nah, I wouldn't say that. I like your music. I gotta say that. Love the band. Love them. Absolutely incredible, in my opinion.
Oh, God.
I just like the way it is, the whole thing. But okay. Besides all that, let me say this. Let me first start out. Tell me first something about yourself.
What do you want to know?
Oh, no, just
I
anything.
lead a miserable life booking bands. I own a company with a friend called Doomstar Bookings, and we basically sit behind a computer all day and torture ourselves with emails to promoters in Europe and to bands from all over the world. And besides that, I occasionally go on tours and make life even more miserable. It's all about living the dream, man.
I agree with you there. I can totally agree with you with that. That's where I get all my motivation from all bands I like, including you guys.
That's cool.
That's apparently what makes me, want to do it. Make my own bands and play music. That's the whole reason why.
Yeah, it's the same for me. It kind of turned into like, all right, I can live life and work a job that I don't give a fuck about anytime I want. But I can also try and do something that I like doing for a living. And I guess that started about, let me see, about 10 years ago, I guess. And right now I've been making a living with booking bands, going on tours, and I get to see the world with the idiots that are Rectal Smegma. We've been to Russia, Japan. We're coming to East Coast America by the end of this year for a few shows. So I've been to Mexico even.
Gonna be exciting.
Yeah, that's about it.
I bet you'll be exciting then, just to go.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I've met like 100,000 Americans by now, but I've only been just once, and that was just a layover in Atlanta. So I haven't really experienced anything of being inside America. It's kind of intriguing, kind of something to look forward to, at least.
That's true. Also, like, I don't know if you know this actually, but have you ever heard of the band called Party Cannon?
Yeah. I know those guys. We played with them. When was that? I think it's like 2 or 3 years ago, maybe.
Hmm.
We did a mini tour in the UK with Prostitute Disfigurement. Was this? Am I talking about the right weekend here? Fuck. Now I don't remember exactly. But we have played with them. I think in Edinburgh and in Leeds in the UK. Yeah, those guys are fun.
Oh no, actually, yeah, I actually just I actually started interviewing them last time. Actually, I just had a chance to talk with them too.
Ah, cool.
They were actually very good. Actually, they were telling me that they actually went on tour with you.
Yeah, that must have been that weekend. Like I'm confused now because no wait, we did. It's all so blurry when we do things with Rectal Smegma.
It
I
takes
wonder
fun,
why. Yeah, we definitely played like 2 out of 3 of those shows, I think. But I'm really confused now if it was with Prostitute Disfigurement or not. I think it was. Yeah, that was like 3 years ago or something. I think.
Hmm. Now, I wanted to ask, like, how did you come up with the name Rectal Smegma?
Well, that was before I joined. Actually, they had been they have been doing the band for over 10 years now, and I have joined in 2011. I think I just reached my fifth anniversary, like last month. I think. I don't know. I really don't know how they got the name. I guess it has something to do with. Do you remember the old singer of the band Ropaprop was called Steven Smegma?
I think so. Like, I just started listening to like the band like I would say like last year or something like that. I haven't like gone so far into that yet.
Right. Yeah, he's the original singer. Like, and he is the reason why Rectal Smegma, or basically that band was the reason Rectal Smegma got started because our singer heard their first album was like, "Fuck, I want to do this too." So it kind of rolled from there. So I guess in a way it's a bit of a tribute to Steven Smegma maybe, but in all honesty, I don't think anybody really remembers anymore where that name came from. I do know that it does a lot to people.
Oh yeah, that's the way I see it.
Once you hear it, it doesn't matter if you like the music. If it doesn't even matter if you like metal at all, you will remember this name, and you will maybe even visualize what rectal smegma could be.
I sort of have.
Yeah, and I think it rolls off the tongue real nicely too.
Oh, I do. I sometimes like one time I was like Rectal Smegma. I was like,
Yeah,
I just wanted to say that. I just like the way it
there's
sounds.
so many people out there too that do that. Whenever I talk to Avi from a PornoGrind, he's always like, "How's rectal smegma doing?" He's like, "Oh."
That's hilarious. So, like, I was wondering, is the band coming up with any new material or anything or no?
The new album like literally just dropped. I don't know if you heard it yet.
Oh no, I only heard one song, but not
Oh
like
yeah, I think.
the whole thing.
Let me see if I can get the link for you right away. He's probably got the whole thing online through his. Here we go. Yeah, the whole thing is just out. We got like our first copies just a few weeks ago actually.
Huh. They got
Is the whole thing? Yeah. Oh yeah. I see he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of the 17 songs online here. You can find them right there.
Oh, thank you very much. I'll check it out.
I'm not sure if it's on our own Bandcamp. This is one of the few things I don't do for the band. It is. Oh, here we go. It's fully online, actually.
Oh, what do you know? I didn't actually know that. I should have actually taken. Sometimes I just watch the music videos that the band makes. Sometimes.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Huh?
Like the previous one I think I watched was well, I think it was like what's that music video again? Oh, Fat Grannies Are Cool.
Yeah,
That one.
Old.
It's an old one, but that was a
Same
previous one.
shit, right?
Say again?
Yeah.
Say again?
That's a really dumb one.
Oh, yeah.
That was just before I joined too, I think.
That one
I had gone on tour with them before. After that, before that happened. This was when I went on tour with them in 2010 with Romp Prop, Gladiator, and Rectal Smegma. I was driving those guys around for 10 days. And then I think about a year later, they asked me to join those boys.
Because speaking of like a band, actually, me and one of my friends that one of my friends and I we thought of this funny name for like a band that we want to actually start doing, and like the way we just like thinking about stuff is just hilarious.
Yeah, that's the best part of doing a band like this. I think the random stupidity that just comes with it
Yeah.
is it's what it's all about. That's basically the only thing we really care about too. Is nobody's gonna make any money off this band. It only costs money. We all know this. It's a hobby. It's something fun to do. But the stupidity and just the overall craziness of being in this band and hanging out with those people is worth more than money could ever pay for. And especially playing this kind of music, of course.
Yeah, exactly. Like really, like let me think what else I was gonna say. Like what part of the band are you a part of? Like are you like the drummer, the bass, the guitar, the vocal, like something like that?
I play the bass. I do most of the bookings. Uh, well, we're a four piece. Our singer is the main dude. Basically, he is the one that arranges most of the things. He's always the initiator when we're doing new things. Our drummer does most of the songwriting. He plays guitar as well, so he usually comes up with like a song that's pretty much finished, start to finish. He just teaches us in the rehearsal, and then we'll do some adjustments here and there, maybe, and that's it. Our guitar player is actually the latest addition to the band. He joined about a year and a half ago now. He was actually a perfect fit. The guy we had before quit because of job reasons, is what he said. But I never really had the right vibe with him either. It was a bit strange to be in a band with him at times, especially because I didn't ever do anything with that guy outside of doing stuff with the band and with the other guys. We occasionally do other stuff,
Yeah,
just hang out after the show or stuff like that.
like what kind of stuff do you guys do? Like just for example.
Mostly just go to other shows and hang out, have a barbecue, or just hang out, I suppose. Well, and when we do go on tour and there's a day off or something like that, we always manage to find a way to do stuff to kill time in a way, and also to spend a lot of money. Like when we were in Mexico, we went to Six Flags in Mexico. When we did a show in the Netherlands and then another show at a fest in Germany the next day, we had a lot of time to kill too. So we went to the zoo. We always come up with like whatever is on the road, whatever is near, we'll find a way to make sure we get to do some crazy shit somewhere.
I like that.
It usually all revolves around drinking a lot.
I like doing that a lot too.
Yeah, that's always the key point of everything that we do when we're together.
Now, when you drink, everything is better. I can tell you that.
Yeah,
Especially
also
for me.
true. Also true.
No,
even the hangovers become better when you drink again.
Yeah. Nah, cause like one time I always tell a lot of my friends like I'm like guys I'm way better. I'm much more fun when I drink. I always do.
Everybody is much more fun until a certain point. Then people can become very annoying when they drink too much.
Well, yeah, I can understand that.
We've all been there.
Like, what kind of beers do you like?
What kind of beers do I like? I don't know if you're familiar with the country Belgium. That's right below the Netherlands where we live.
Mm-hmm.
But they have like over 100 special brews that have been like long time running. I'm not talking about all the microbrewery IPA kind of stuff. I'm not into that stuff at all. But I do like strong special brews. There's a lot of good pilsners from the south of the Netherlands. The main brand that we drink with Rectal Smegma is, for me, unfortunately, a Heineken. But the two guys that are the original members still in the band is our singer and our drummer. They are from the west of the Netherlands, which is a part where they drink Heineken a lot. So we are kind of obliged. Whenever we hang out at our singer's house or at our drummer's house, there will be Heineken. Whenever they hang out at our place, there is always a different brand of beer. There's never any Heineken around here. But yeah, we're force fed a lot of Heineken.
Like,
usually when we rehearse, because I have to drive an hour with our guitar player. He lives about 30 minutes from here, and from his place to the other guys, it's about 45 minutes. Those guys pay for the rehearsal room, and we pay for gas and beer to get there. So we usually drink about 24 beers in a rehearsal, like all together. So everybody has a six-pack, and we have to get Heineken for them, otherwise we will have trouble. But now I switched. Like usually, I get 2 6-packs of Heineken, and then get 2 6-packs of a beer that me and the guitar player like. It's a constant struggle, man.
I can understand. Like you have to keep on doing that every time. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a healthy band to be in. I can tell you that.
I bet you have like a fun time with them anyway, just doing all that.
Always. It's the main reason why I stay with them. It's just because of the total stupidity that's always there, plus getting to play like some pretty big shows at times, which I never thought I ever would. I'm not a talented musician or whatever. It's just to be able to play in front of a couple of thousand people and to play with a band that's called Rectal Smegma and do that. It's more than I ever expected out of this.
Now I want to ask, like, you may know or may not. Like what apparently, like, what got you guys to actually want to like form a band? Like, do you know?
Well, everybody's been in bands before this band, so I guess everybody always had the urge to want to play music. I think our drummer and our singer have had a band before this, or they're from the same area, so they have been like musically active around the same time. I think the pre-Rectal Smegma band was called Bubonic Plague. This was our singer and some one guy that joined Rectal Smegma at that point too. For me, I was 15 and I got into metal and I wanted to play an instrument, so I got a bass and just took it from there. I've been in bands since I was 15. Since I ever got the bass, I've been in bands. But the main band I was in kind of bled dry after a while. Like everybody had their own priorities, nobody cared that much anymore. And then I got the phone call from Rectal Smegma, like, "Hey, do you want to join us?" And I was booking them a tour at the time, so I was like, all right, I can struggle on with this band that's not going anywhere and just make my life miserable by playing music with them, or I could just step in on a bandwagon that's been, well, they've been going for a while. They've had all the rough shit behind them. Oh, well, in a way, I suppose.
Yeah.
They had festivals planned, like they had Obscene Extreme planned that year. I joined them, so like, yeah, I might as well just fucking step in with them and see where that goes. And I never left.
I wanted to say, like, I think I saw this on YouTube actually. There's this I don't know if I'm getting the name of this festival right, but the name of this it was called like In Grind We Trust.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. Like,
yeah, that's the Obscene Extreme Festival. That's the one I was talking about. That's the craziest thing you'll ever see in your life.
No, I saw like one video that the band actually performed in, and I was like, holy shit, everyone here is just fucking insane.
Yep.
It's
like, yeah.
Well,
we'll have naked people with you on stage. Mm-hmm. There's people dressed up as bananas, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, doctors. It's just complete insanity, but it's the funnest thing ever, man.
I know. When I saw it, I was like, "Oh man, I should go to that. That looks crazy."
Yeah. If you ever do come to Europe, and if you like that kind of shit, that's the fest to go to. There is nothing like it on the entire planet. He has done Obscene Extreme America. He did it in Mexico once. He tried to do it in West Coast the year after, but that failed. And he did it in Canada last year, which was a bit of a financial disaster for him too. But the scene is more concentrated here in Europe. It's a much smaller continent, so it's easier for people to go there. Plus, you can never recreate. You see how that festival looks, right? It's just one stage, huge amphitheater around it, surrounded by a forest, and there's just like somewhere between 5 and 10,000 total insane people running around, dressed up, naked, fucking shitting, pissing, vomiting everywhere, bleeding.
Damn.
It's but since the first time I went, I think I went every year after that. Usually when I'm on tour or I have to play it, but it's everybody that does anything in grindcore usually is there every year.
Like, what I was gonna ask, what kind of bands like are you into? Like, what's your favorite bands?
Right now, it varies a lot, but because I'm pretty much surrounded by metal all the time, I started to listen to many other things. It really depends on my mood at the moment, what I play. Lately, I've been playing a lot of blues and country music, to be honest. I'm a huge fan of Hank Williams and all that outlaw country kind of stuff. I was sad when Merle Haggard died. For metal, I listen to a lot of sludgy kind of things, the I Hate God, Iron Monkey kind of area.
Mm-hmm.
And for the extremer metal, it's not so much around that anymore because I'm exposed to it half the time. When I go on tour, it's metal. When I work my job, it's metal. When I'm sitting behind the computer, I have to check out all these bands. It's all metal. So whenever I can just sit down, enjoy the sunshine, have a glass of whiskey, or have it right here, just play something different. Something that's completely opposite of metal. I even listen to like Swiss Alp Yodel music, just traditional folky kind of stuff from wherever draws my attention. But I do have to say that in Rectal Smegma, I'm probably the only one that does that.
Yeah.
Our drummer is not much of a metalhead at all, to be honest. Just a few things that he picked up in his childhood when the band was starting out and when he started listening to metal. But he listens to like mostly like top 40 music now, I guess, because they're exposed to like normal radio every day, so they hear that shit all day long. Our singer is a huge fucking grindcore metalhead, but also can listen to like electronic dance kind of stuff. And our guitar player has a thrash background, I'd say. He's always been in thrash and death metal bands before. He's the oldest one of the bunch too, and he kind of grew up with all that 80s, 90s thrash and heavy metal kind of stuff. So he's the only one that can sing you a whole Iron Maiden song and anybody of the whole band.
Yeah, for me actually, I like a lot of like old like the '90s death metal, like Cannibal Corpse and Death and like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, definitely. Like I have my favorites in those as well. Like you can play me Covenant of Morbid Angel anytime of the
I love that
day.
band, by the way.
Okay, yeah, there's a few of those records in there that are just timeless and which are never going to be topped anymore either. I think.
Yeah. A lot of people tell me that Covenant album's very good. I haven't had a chance to listen to that, but one
That's
person I know
definitely my
really
favorite Morbid Angel record.
Like,
Yeah, give that a spin.
Now I want to ask, like for the vocals, actually, I don't know if you know, probably you do know, but how do they like do the vocals actually for that sound, like that very type guttural sound, like for the band?
For Rectal Smegma, you mean?
Yeah, like I listen to the lyrics, I'm like, how do they do that? It's so like interesting.
It's a effect pedal. It's a Boss pitch shifter pedal. That's pretty much it. Our singer has two. Like he does the screams are clean, like the high pitched ones, and then he'll go on the low main vocals, which is -20 on the pitch shifter, and then he has a second pitch shifter for the really slow parts. If you look at videos of us, you'll see him tap dance in between like lyrics. Like he'll have to do a scream here and then do a pitch part there, and he's just kicking on his fucking pedals to make sure that the right part is with the right effect. Yeah, it's mostly effects. All of the gore grind band, most of the gore grind bands, all use pitch shifted vocals. It's basically just a Boss pedal.
Oh, I actually didn't know. I thought it was just like the voice itself. I didn't actually know
Yeah,
that.
some people do think that. I'd be surprised if anybody really got that out of their throats and not puke up their guts after that.
I actually tried this once, but I was like, this sucks. I can't do it.
No, get yourself one of those pedals, man.
I will, cause like the band that me and my friend came up with, like we just thought about this, like we were just at like a Lamb of God concert, and like we were just like, just sitting in the audience, like waiting for like any of the bands to perform. So then we just came up with this funny name. We came up with the name called Sausage Fest, and we were like, oh my god, that sounds so good.
Christ.
I know. And then we just came up with like the stupidest shit we can think of for names of songs and random. And we were just like, like all these random sounds would just be like a name for something. So we just started doing that like half the whole time, and it was like a whole big thing. And I was asking him like, like what if he wanted to actually do it for real actually? But he's actually thinking about that right now. But I really hope actually it does turn into something like just like Rectal Smegma.
Yeah. Sausage Fest is a good name.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, it's a very gay name too, but that doesn't matter.
Nah, we're just trying to make it sound like a PornoGrind album or something.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
So,
sounds like you got a plan there.
Well, thank you, cause I don't know, we just came up with it ourselves. You don't know, we just thought about anything.
Yeah, that's how we come up with song titles these days too. Just something stupid comes to mind, and if we'll remember it the next day, it probably turns into a song.
Well, yeah. Also, what kind of bass is that? I actually see a bass in the background. What kind of bass guitar is that?
Oh, that's just my acoustic bass. It's a J&D. I actually barely ever touch that. I play with Rectal Smegma. I play an Ibanez EDB 500, I think the type is. But it's mostly because the neck is really thin and it's easier to play the fast parts with. I have another Fender jazz bass that I use in the sludge band that I play in, which is obviously not as fast, so it's easier to keep track on the neck with that one. It sounds way better, obviously, but I tried to I have used it with Rectal Smegma in the past, but as the years progressed with me being in the band, the music got a lot faster, like a lot faster. If I compare some of the old songs that we still play to the way they were recorded to the way we play them now, it's like some of them are like 2-3 times as fast. It's mostly because our singer keeps pushing our drummer to go faster all the time, and I guess it works.
Yeah. Like if he keeps on going more faster, it'll sound more like a thrash band.
Yeah, well, if you listen to the new record, you'll find that there's not that much that anymore, but it's a lot of fucking fast, blasting core grind instead of There's a lot of groovy death metal parts in there as well, but like the really simple stuff that you'll hear on the first 2 records mostly is it's not so prominent anymore. It's more fun to play the fast stuff, though. I do have to say, it's more challenging. And it's gives you something to do.
Yeah. I want to do you like any black metal bands like like Mayhem or Darkthrone or like that?
Me personally, only a very few. Our guitar player, our guitar player too. I think pretty much everybody else outside of me likes Cradle of Filth. I do like some Mayhem, yes. I especially enjoy seeing them live. Other than that, there's only a very few bands that I enjoy, like Anal Nathrak from the UK. I like Wolves in the Throne Room. At least I used to like them. Like they've gone all ambient now, I think. But there's only very few bands in that genre that I like. The other guys in the band are more all about that shit. They like Dark Funeral. They like Marduk.
I actually started liking that band. Actually, when you just said Marduk.
Yeah.
I actually started liking them a while ago. Like I remember seeing the logo for some, and then I was like, you know what? I need to check them out.
Yeah, well, they've been around for a while. How old are you?
21.
21. There you go. That makes sense. If you haven't heard Covenant of Morbid Angel and just discovered Marduk, you cannot be anywhere over 25. I'm sure.
Yeah,
That's cool. We all got it. We all got to start somewhere.
That's true. Mostly, I just find it I just mostly just search on the internet finding for things.
Yeah.
That's mostly just what I do.
Yeah.
So usually sometimes I'm like early or like too late for it. It's just because I probably just discovered it and I just want and I want to get to know it more.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. That's you have an active enthusiasm to get deeper in this shit, and not a lot of people do.
Well, I actually do. Well, because I like to actually see where I actually go with this. That's
Uh-huh.
why I mostly go online because sometimes I go from like the really good bands and then sometimes I go like, okay, I think I'm going a little dark now because I see like, these very extreme bands and like some that are like very gory and very like Rectal Smegma and all that. Like I didn't even know about this until like I went a little more into it.
Yeah, yeah, that's the way to do it, man. Like when I started out listening to metal, I had a very good local record shop where I just hung out every minute of the day where I had the chance, was harassing the staff there and listening to records all day. And that evolved for me working for a webzine, reviewing records and going to shows, reviewing the shows and doing interviews and stuff until I, eventually led to starting a booking agency and just constantly being working with music and mostly metal, I suppose. It's a passion, isn't it?
Oh yes, definitely. For me, it is because like for myself, like I actually started like really going deep into like the metal scene, but ever since have you ever heard of I don't know if you heard of, you probably have you heard of a show called Metalocalypse?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I've seen all the episodes. I actually even have the first record they put out.
uh, I have like everything to do with that band. I ever since that show, I became such a diehard fan of that exact show, the band, everything. Like I even own both of the guitars from the show.
Oh, you know shit?
Yeah, I had the Thunder Horse and the Snow Falcon guitar that both the characters had in the show. Yeah, I bought both of those. Like
Nice.
that's how much I really like enjoyed and loved the show for it.
Yeah, that fucking show is hilarious, man.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and ever since that show, actually, I was like, you know what? I really like this. It's very metal, so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna push this a little more and like see where I get with this. Like, I really have gone into like this genre of music so heavily ever since that one show because that inspired me to do something with my life and actually be like, you know what? This is what I want to do. I love this. I love all these bands. I love the people who are in these bands. This is amazing. I love what they're doing. And I always say they have so much talent because I'm like, this is talent right here. And I hate when people don't recognize like how much work they're putting into this. And for me, it's actually something for me to do because it motivates me to be like, okay, if these guys can do it, so can I, and I'll get really and who knows, maybe I'll get somewhere with it.
Yeah, yeah, just keep pushing yourself. Yo, I like that band you're wearing on your shirt right now.
Yeah, I love Dying Fetus. I saw them actually just in the beginning of May.
Yeah, I've seen them a whole bunch of times, and I've never, well, ne- in their most recent lineups, I've never seen a bad show. Those guys are fucking tight.
Oh, they are. It was a crazy show that night.
Uh,
Like same thing when I went to see Cannibal Corpse, but I gotta say at that show, I think I enjoyed it like I think I enjoyed it more than any other concert I went to so far right now because I think it was one because I liked the way like all the songs they had there, or maybe two is because I was probably wasted as fuck. I can say that I was at that show.
it's usually a combination of the two, yeah.
Yeah,
You've had a great night.
I definitely did after that. But the next morning, I felt like shit though because I was like, oh damn. But it was all I felt like it was all worth it at the end.
Of course it is. It's Cannibal Corpse.
Yeah, exactly. Have you ever seen them live or no?
Yeah, we've actually played with them on a few festivals. I think it was about, I guess about 3 years ago. We played a thing called Extreme Fest, and they did like three editions. There was an Extreme Fest in Germany, one in Switzerland, and one in Austria, and they had like a revolving playing bill. So bands would have to do all three. And well, yeah, like a lot of the bands they had on the bill would have to do all three of them. And I think we were every time we were on the same day on the fest as Cannibal Corpse, so we got to play with them like 3 times. Yeah, they fucking rip, man. They're especially good when you're drunk.
Oh, they definitely were when I was.
Yeah,
That's why I could say I enjoyed that show a
yeah,
lot.
yeah. It's just so fucking crude and blunt.
Yeah, oh yeah. Like the I don't know, you probably know this, but the vocalist that was used to be in Cannibal Corpse, Chris Barnes. He's in the other band like 6 Feet
Yeah,
Under.
6 feet under. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, what did you think about that when you first heard about that? For me,
Uh,
I was like, oh wow, I didn't even know about that.
yeah, I wasn't listening to that at that time when that actually happened. It took for me a while to figure out that he used to be the singer for Cannibal Corpse, and now George is. But I don't know, man. 6 Feet Under, I don't know. Chris Barnes is a huge fucking stoner, from what I've heard. And all those Graveyard Classics albums, it's not for me. I don't want to listen to him play fucking ACDC, TNT, and stuff like that. Nah. It's
I,
too much of a gimmick, and nah.
I like them better in Cannibal Corpse, in my opinion. I think that it was just perfect for him just being there.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
Because I'm like, for me, I only listen to Cannibal Corpse like from their first album to the Bleeding, because just the other stuff they have, it's okay, but I kind of like the way the old was in the 1990s.
That's a very common saying for all metalheads. The first record is always the best one.
I love the first record. That's considered one of my absolute favorite records of all time.
Yeah, you got your metalhead war talk ready, or I should say it. It's all about the first albums, always, with every fucking band. The more you hang out in the metal scene, the more you find out that everybody is always about the first record.
Yeah.
No, it's not the new one. The new one sucks. You should hear the first one. It's
exactly
such a common conversation in every metal show ever.
No, exactly. When I went to see Cannibal Corpse, like a few people were like, "Oh, I like Tomb of the Mutilated. I like this one."
Yeah, everybody, very opinionated people.
Yeah, for me, I would say my favorite is Butchered at Birth. I think that one was like the most like brutal album for Cannibal Corpse, in my opinion. For like the one I've ever heard, I think was like the best one for me.
Yeah, the old stuff.
like what kind of like music did you grow up to with like I'm just saying like any kind of genre you can say.
Well, like before I listened to metal, I guess I kind of listened to a little bit of hip hop, and before that, there was more like there's a dance kind of genre from the Netherlands. It's called gabber. It's really aggressive. I guess it kind of overlaps with metal in a way. But yeah, let me show you an example. Maybe it's like electronic hardcore. Would you know what I mean when I say that?
Yeah, say again.
Electronic hardcore. It's not like the hardcore punk, but just digital hardcore.
I think I know what you're saying. 'Cause I do have friends that actually listen to a few of the different things.
Yeah, it's just really thick, hard, loud basses. It's just pounding. But yeah, if I try to look it up, I find really stupid shit because it's old.
like from what year exactly? For example.
This stuff came out in like, oh god, that's a good question actually. It's like early '90s, mid '90s, I guess. Oh man, if you see those people at that time, like, everybody's on fucking pills and out of their mind. God, I'm not even gonna send you anything. It's just too stupid.
Just the way you're making it sound.
Wait, just let me get you a good song. Let's see if I can get a good song. This is 2 hours of it. That's maybe a bit too much. I guess this one is alright. This is the first music I got into.
Yeah, no, I see it. No, I'll check it out later on. I'll tell you what I said, all right?
Yeah.
So, like, besides all the other stuff I'm asking, like, when you go on tour, like, how long does it take usually to get from one place to another? Like, does it take, like, a few, like, days, or has it ever took you, like a month ever to get somewhere because, like, the travel destination's, like, very far?
For us, for Rectal Smegma, we rarely tour anymore. But if I do it for my job, it's usually just a matter of a few hours. Europe is a lot smaller than the U.S. is, and countries and even cities are a lot closer together. And depending on where you go in Europe, everything is pretty much a few hours away from each other. Like the most you'll do is maybe about, if you get around 12 hours traveling, that's long. That's a big distance.
Yeah,
to
it
get
is.
around 1,000 kilometers, which can be 10, 12, 14 hours maybe, then that's a little painful. But other than that, it's just generally like I have to think like really when the last time was we actually did a tour. But we have a tour planned now for November. But there's going to be a nightliner tour, one of those big double-decker buses
Mhm.
with sleeping places upstairs. It's going to be us supporting Gorgasm from the US,
Oh, I know that, man.
and then two support bands. It's only going to be 10 days, and that's mostly a bit of self-protection because we always get way too fucking wasted on these things. Like usually when we've done one show, half of the band already wants to go home because they all feel like shit.
Yeah, I can understand if you're like, getting that crazy. Then yeah, because like, all the
Yeah,
hangovers and everything.
yeah, it's really retarded. I cannot begin like a lot of people because like touring is part of my job. A lot of people ask me what's the worst band I've ever toured with, and my answer has always been my own.
Wow.
It's that bad. Like really, it's that bad.
Damn.
It's fun bad, but it is that bad. There is no control. There is only pure chaos. There is only let's do this right now. Let's do something stupid. Let's do something stupid here. It just never stops.
What was one of the most stupidest things that you have ever done? Like really, like with the band. Like one of the most like things that you're like, oh shit, that was just damn stupid.
Oh fuck. There's so many of it. It's always hard to come up single single incident, I guess. Well, when we went to Mexico, I pretty much got close to calling my mom and telling her I was not coming home anymore because I thought I was gonna die.
Oh,
Just from nonstop party, smoking, drinking, stupid shit. That's about as extreme as I've gone, but that's well, it's come to pass, and I've felt like that a bunch of times by now. Actually, yeah, that was pretty crazy. I don't know, man. Being shit faced drunk on the Red Square in Moscow, fucking lifting up Japanese people above our heads to take pictures with them in Japan, fucking having a flash pass in Six Flags in Mexico and taking the guys that booked us there and took us around in that amusement park and all those fucking attractions with us. They had never even been to fucking Six Flags, so I was putting those guys in that roller coaster for the first time with the hangover. That was pretty funny. But there's literally like the incidents that are best I can probably not think of right now. But there's a million things. Like I could write a book on this band that I can never publish, but it will be one of the best reads you'll ever had. There's so many stupid things happening with this band always. Like in the last show we played, no, I should say the second to last show, we flew into Spain. Like we got there, like it was pretty late already, and there was 5 or 6 bands playing. But the first one didn't start for hours when we were there. Like we had a rope pulling contest before it started, like shit like that. That was just like, all right, here we go. We're drinking in Spain, and we have to do a rope pulling contest. That was like, well, what the fuck? There's always something like that. This band just tracks stupid situations.
Like, has it ever been like once that you never got into anything like that, or it just happens all the time?
Pretty much all the time, something happens. Yeah. And we flew into London once. That might have been one of the craziest days. Probably not the craziest, but one of them. We flew into London to play this girl's birthday party, and shit got out of hand. We had a really annoying guitar player at that time that was an angry drunk, and he got in a fight with our singer after the show, to the point where the cops had to show up, and like they immediately walked up to him, and then our friend who usually goes with us to show, he's like, "Oh, don't touch my friend." And this was in the UK, and cops are not so easy as they are in the Netherlands. So they fucking threw him to the floor, cuffed him, threw him in the car, and he's like, all that happened in like a blink of an eye. We're like, what the fuck just happened? So
Wow,
two of our guys had to go to the police station to pick him up all night, and I got stuck with the annoying guitar player who then left the band the following day. But the following day we had to go home, and we managed to miss the airplane. So we got stuck in London all day again, hanging out with a guitar player who got in a fight with our singer the day before. Just trying to kill time. We went into a haunted house, got fucking drunk again. We had to switch airports. Fucking, you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
There's always fucking something. It can never be anywhere near normal for some reason. But that's just why I like this band.
Yeah, but overall, is it worth it?
Absolutely, man. If I see some of those bands that go out on tour, especially in these days, everybody just, you go to the venue, people want to have Wi-Fi and sit backstage and talk to their girlfriends. Isn't that why, or their families? Isn't this why you go on tour, just to get away from reality? Now
Yeah.
you are going to every fucking venue asking for Wi-Fi so you can talk to the people you see fucking every day. This is not the point of going on tour. Like, I don't think Rectal Smegma has ever asked for Wi-Fi at a venue, because we usually arrive half drunk already and nobody cares to talk to anybody back home, because we're out with our friends and we're gonna have a good time and we'll talk to everybody about it the next day.
Oh no, so I want to ask, you probably like when you're in like the studio, like recording like an album or something, like how does that feel? Like, does it ever feel like, oh, we're back in the studio, we're doing something else again? Like we're like looking forward to like getting it released.
Yeah, the process usually starts way before that. It's like, all right, we're gonna be starting a new album, so we gradually start planning a recording date, and then having the months lead up to that where we write songs. Like, sometimes it's pretty hectic. Like, usually in the last month or so, we find out that we still have to write this many songs to get everything done. So the pressure gets on. But the actual studio time for us is like the two albums that I've recorded with them now are a fucking breeze, because we record everything live. We don't do everything separately. So the last record is actually recorded in, I think, under 2 hours. The music was done. It's just play, play, play. Well, obviously it's PornoGrind, so it doesn't have to be as fucking tight as, for instance, Dying Fetus is.
Yeah.
We can't even play that tight, obviously. We try to get as close as possible, but we're not professional death metal musicians, so we're not going to be able to get to that level. So we really try to capture the energy like you would have at a show, and what better way to capture it than to have at least the instrumentation part done simultaneously. We just go through the songs. Whenever somebody screws up or whatever, just keep do it again. Mostly when the drummer fucks up, I guess we have to do it again. As long as he can do it one take, we're good to go. So we had 2 studio days. Like, the first day was mostly setting up microphones and getting the sounds in there, and then somewhere in the afternoon we just recorded, and within 2 hours all instruments were pretty much done. Had something to eat, and then did most of the vocals right after that. And then the next day we just listened to what we had, did little corrections and the last bit of vocals. And we had Dennis, singer from Severe Torture, come in that day to do guest vocals. So that took a little bit of time too, but that was it basically. Like, really, the actual being in the studio is a very short period of time when you compare it to other bands that sit there for like a week and take 2 days to do drums, and then 2 days to do guitar, a day to do bass, and a day to do vocals. We don't have the patience or the time or the money, I suppose, to do that. I think it sounds much better this way. With my other band, we do it the same way too. It's a sludge band, so it's easier to get everything on there right the first time, I suppose. But just the energy of it being played live appeals to me much more than a super clinically polished, like, way too tight sounding for it to be done live. Like, that clinically sound, I don't like it so much compared to like the vibe you get from everything being played at the same time. But yeah, you be the judge, man. Listen to the album and let me know what you think.
All right, I'll definitely make sure, because like after this I'll definitely listen to the album, because I'm pretty interested to hear what it sounds like.
Yeah. I'm actually. Well, this was the first time we went to a different producer. It was one that I recommended and insisted. He's from the city where I live in here in Tilburg, and I've seen him mix bands live in all kinds of genres, mostly metal genres, but different ones. And he always knows how to give the band the sound that they are looking for. You know, if it's a doom band, he will make sure it's low and heavy and loud as fuck. And if it's a technical death metal band, he makes sure the sound is tight and he'll get the right sound for each band. And he's recorded some stuff before, and like it's a band called Dodecahedron. He's in that band himself as well, and there's parts in there where it's like 100 layers on top of each other. It's a really complex band, like really absurd kind of stuff actually. But like the way he produced it was just perfect, and when we got to work with him, like he made it sound so retardedly thick and gory. Like it's way better than anything we've ever recorded before. Really happy with the turnout.
Oh, and I'm looking forward to that. I really am.
Yeah, curious what you think.
Like, also, I want to ask: have you ever heard of like I don't think it's actually not like a full band, but have you ever heard of a Cemetery Rapist?
Yeah. I know. Fuck, what's his name again? Damn, what is his name again? Well, he's been over to Europe once before. He actually played a fest that we put on with Doomstar. He played the pre-party. He toured with, actually with the guitar player of my sludge band. Fuck, what's his name? Why can't I think of that right now? Yeah, I like that one man band kind of stuff a lot too. Those guys are always weirdos too.
No, I've when I first discovered it, I was actually impressed to actually see that it was like only one person doing all that. I was like, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's just for the album, it's obviously more instrumentation, but live it's just a drum computer, a guy with a guitar and a microphone. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's like a programmed drum.
Yeah, I had in 2010, I think it was. I did a tour with 4 one-man bands. The easiest tour I've ever done. Have you ever heard of Insidious Discrepancy?
Actually, no. Now that you tell me, actually, that was the first time. Now you told me that, I actually no, I haven't.
No, yeah, he's one of the first one-man death metal bands. He's from Texas. He was headlining that tour. That guy plays like super complex death metal just by himself. It's fucking amazing. Have you heard of Putrid Pile?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, he's like I think they've done splits together. It's like the same kind of era. Putrid Pile's still going, and Cities Decrepancy not so much anymore.
Like what happened to him? Like they decide just to like just end it.
I don't know. Well, his Facebook presence has always been a little bit too much out there. I think he's way paranoid from using drugs too much for years and years and years. I think he kind of felt like he was forsaken by the scene. But you literally could see one message one day saying that he's restored all his faith and he's ready to go rock out again, and then the next day he just wants to sell all his guitars. So, I know he comes across a bit paranoid and bipolar. I guess that finally got the best of him.
Like
it's a shame though because he's a fucking ripping player. It's fucking insane. I'll send you his name right here. You should check some of his stuff out. Well, let's see. I think it's like this. Yeah.
Oh no, I see. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, he's fucking insane.
There's one other thing I had in mind. Like when you recording the album, like have you ever been recording like an album that you're like, oh, this one has to be like the best one that you ever did?
Yeah, this one, the Rectal Smegma one. This one is absolutely the best one. Easy.
No, cause I was listening to like the album Keep on Smiling actually, and like and also like, but it's not like when I listen to like certain a lot of these bands that have like this, like like what do you know like where do you get some of those audio clips from before like a song starts? It's like usually like a little audio clip that starts and then starts playing.
Yeah, the stupid intros.
Yeah, like do you know where you get some of those from or not?
Oh, it's just things that we come up with. Like we try to push ourselves to remind ourselves to take these stupid intro clips. Well, Keep on Smiling is before I was in the band, so where and how they came up with that shit, I cannot tell you. So at that time, actually, a lot of them are made by themselves. Those are members of Rectal Smegma doing those intros. Uh, later, in the later records, we don't do that so much anymore. But especially the old ones, it's our drummer saying something stupid and then the song starts. For like usually when somebody hears something funny, we try to put it like we have like a group app on the phone for Rectal Smegma. We put it in there, and then if everybody remembers it when we're in the studio, then we'll put that part before the song. It goes like that. It's usually just stuff you pick up when you watch a movie, watch the news. Just when something sounds funny and could work, we just use it like that.
Yeah, because like I've always like had very interested in that because I always think like where do these bands get these from because I want to know really because it's like funny I just want to know where it's from because
Yeah.
Whatever it is I might maybe it's from a
Yeah.
movie or something I might be interested in.
Yeah. It's usually funny is when you're watching something and you hear something and you're like, dude, somebody used this as an intro. I know what it is, and you just get it stuck in your head for like 10 minutes until you figure out which band it is that used the little bit that you hear from it in the movie or something like that.
Yeah,
it's funny.
Have you ever had one touring experience that was what I'm trying to say is have you ever had one touring experience that something just went absolutely wrong and then you couldn't play that night or something like that?
Something went absolutely wrong. Ooh. I don't know. There's always something that goes wrong. The thing that goes wrong mostly on our stage is the worst one that I can remember. This is when I was in the band for maybe like a year, when we had to play this festival pretty much in the other side of Europe in Ostrava and Czech Republic. So we had like a fucking huge drive over there. So we split it in two. We stayed in Dresden the first night. We got fucking hammered in the city that night, and I got so wasted I lost my wallet with my passport and my driver's license and all my papers in it. I still had to cross the borders the next day, so fuck it. We still went. We got there, started pounding shots of vodka and drinking like big beers like they serve in Czech Republic. And by the time we had to take the stage, we were fucking hammered and could barely fucking stand up. We played, I think that's probably the worst show we've ever played in our life. Well, that may be worse ones actually. But dude, just stuff was falling over from the drums. The audience members, like, you've seen extreme video. Like people come on our stage a lot, and because everybody plays with pedals, fucking cords get kicked out, and half of the time on that show, one of the four members could not be heard because of cables being kicked out, cymbal stands being knocked over. It's just like halfway through the set, I was like, really, what the fuck are we doing? Our drummer was so drunk he couldn't remember half the songs. He was just like, you could remember two beats, and it's like, I don't know what we're doing. It was such an embarrassment. But still, in hindsight, it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it's true. Can you hold on for 1 second?
Yeah, sure.
I just need to do one thing. I'm back. Sorry about that. All right. So one other thing I want to ask, like what kind of amps do you guys use?
Guitar player uses a Mesa Boogie rectifier always, unless there is no other way to play on something like if we have a fly-in show and that there is no Mesa Boogie available, then he'll play whatever is there. For me, I would always prefer to use an Ampeg, but in all honesty, I don't really care. I usually like the last show we played. There's a combi amp in there. There's no way I can bring something unless I bring a cabinet, etc. as well. But usually I just use what's there. If I can choose, I will use an Ampeg. If not, I'll just use what's there. And for a guitar player, definitely Mesa Boogie rectifiers. That is one of the best amps to play brutal metal with, I think.
Yeah, what about like the drums and everything? Like, do you ever use like a Tama or like anything like that, a Tama drum or?
This is a really good question. I have no idea what a drummer plays. I don't think he really cares that much either.
He just probably
Like,
just
we usually it's more of a in America it's a more common thing for each band to bring its own full backline. In Europe, this doesn't happen so much. Like there is if it's a fest or something, they usually provide you with a whole backline. If it's a few bands playing, then usually each band, like let's say it's four bands, then one band brings drums, one band brings a guitar cab, one band brings a bass cab, and everybody brings their own breakables. That's usually how it goes. For our drums, I don't know. We rarely ever bring them. I think in the last 3 years, maybe longer than that, we've used it once or twice. I don't even know, to be honest, what brand it is, but I think it's a Pearl.
yeah. Like like how is it actually in Europe?
What do you mean?
Like how's it being like living there? Because I'm from the U.S., so I really don't like know what goes on in certain countries.
I don't know, man. It's all right, I guess. Like I can only speak for myself living in the Netherlands, which is a fairly wealthy white country where, well, it's pretty much the same as everywhere else. The news is full of making people scared of Islam, Muslims. But it's the same thing that Trump is doing. There's one of those guys in every country in Europe as well. Only you're probably going to be ending up with him as a president, and that hasn't happened yet so far in any European country. I think. Knock on wood, because it might.
Oh yeah, who knows what happened? Who knows what will happen?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's pretty much it's the same as everywhere else. I think it's just people trying to get by. There's not so many guns here or police brutality as there is with you guys. I know that.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I see a lot on my Facebook wall from my American friends.
Yeah, a lot of
it's a lot safer. We have cheap healthcare, etc. all those things that Obama wanted. That is here. Nobody walks around with a gun, and if you break a leg, then you won't fucking die of medical bills, but you can just go to the hospital and have it covered.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I like Europe. I love Japan too. When we went out there, that was fucking amazing. But I know I think I'm fine here. I don't have a lot of complaints, except that everything is really rushy and fast these days. But that's the same for America, I suppose. Yeah, everything has to be fast.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that happen here actually. I sometimes wish I can like go to another country instead because, sometimes it's really not that much for me going on right now here.
Where you live exactly?
No, I live in like the Rockaways in Queens.
In Queens, that's in.
It's in the Bell Harbor, New York.
Oh, you're in New York, so there's a lot of things going on over there, though.
Oh yeah, I can tell you that definitely.
Yeah. Well, it's all East Coast, right? So, aren't you supposed to be at Maryland Death Fest this weekend?
Oh yeah.
You're not going, or you are going?
Nah, I was gonna go, but I don't know. Just when I had like school, college. Actually, it takes a lot of my time to do with that, and and that occupying everything, it's kind of hard for me like to focus on something else that sometimes comes on because that's like the main thing I want to get done and be finished with.
Yeah, same for me. I wanted to have that diploma, even though it doesn't really do anything for you afterwards. It's just to make mom and dad proud, right?
Well, yeah, I would definitely say that.
Yeah, yeah, I can figure that. Well, we should come out when we play fucking New York.
Is it actually? Yeah. When are you guys coming to New York?
We're playing that Useless Christ Fest. Do you know Gutter Christ and Schlack from Eat the Turnbuckle?
No, but what you just said, like useless Christ Fest, I remember. I actually definitely heard that.
Yeah, here you go. Playing with who else is on that? Yeah, we're playing with Gorgasm there as well. Cranium from Norway are playing. Those guys, but yeah, I know a few of those bands.
Like, have you ever like actually visited Norway?
Yeah,
How is it there actually?
I've only been there twice actually in Oslo, and it was literally in and out, so I can't really say anything that represents Norway, but I would definitely love to go there for like a holiday or something if it wasn't for the fact that everything is extremely expensive in Norway. Like if you want to go to a bar and buy a beer, you'll easily pay like $10 to $15.
Wow, that's expensive. I never knew it'd be
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. They're not part of the European Union either. They have their own money, and they have a lot of oil. They're actually, I think they're even richer than Switzerland. Like it's one of the richest countries in the world.
No, the reason why,
But like the countryside, I would really love to see though. Like the more high up you go north, in winter or summertime, it probably looks equally amazing. Covered in snow as it will do, covered in sunshine.
yeah, definitely.
People
Like,
are a bit strange in those areas though. They don't seem to have a lot of contact, so to say, because it's a really big country and it's not densely populated at all. I don't know how many people live there, but that country's like, I don't know how many times the size of the Netherlands, and it has like a few million people living there, while the Netherlands is really fucking small, and we're getting close to like 17 million people on there.
because like like since I think since you've been like to Oslo, like have you ever seen like any like just there like any like thing from like the black metal scene, like any people there like wearing the t-shirts or like expressing like the whole black metal thing in Norway?
Yeah, not personally, no, but I do know a lot of people that work with those guys. Like one of the guys that just started working for the booking agency that I run, he has been the sound guy for Mayhem for quite a few years. He's on the Swedish Shining, with Nicholas, the guy that's like he's kind of schizophrenic as well. So he's been pretty close to all that stuff. Like the stories he tell me, like those guys fucking they're pretty mental, yeah. Whatever the stuff that you've seen of Mayhem, like they do a lot of drugs and whatever, but it's mostly it's a lot about shock value in that genre, I think.
Yeah.
Like who can be the most extreme, like all that whole Burzum kind of scene where people set churches on fire. It's not a lot of that anymore. It's a lot of fashion these days, I think. Who's got the nicest corpse paint? Who's got the
things change throughout the years. I like
yeah,
me,
like how can you be more extreme? Like the only thing that people can do to be more extreme is to pretend like they're Nazis, like Satanic War Master and bands like that do. But that goes the wrong way too, because crust punks don't like that, and they will boycott you. Or I don't know if you caught anything of that whole Disma thing happening when Netherlands Death Fest was supposed to happen, and that guy from Disma, the singer, that band was booked. It's a death metal band, a non-political death metal band, but the singer had said some things in his previous band called Sturmfuhrer. It's already a kind of a bad name to have. He said something about eradicating all the Jews and all that stuff. Like, it's not such a good idea, especially that subject is still kind of
very strong,
touchy in Europe, especially with the Germans, obviously. So in the end, they got canceled of that fest. But yeah, I think it's all about the shock value now, man. But it's running out. There's not a whole lot more things you can do to scare people off. This is the same with gore grind. You can sing about if you listen to Cemetery Rapist, he's all about shock value.
I definitely listened to that. I listened to like 2 of his full albums.
It's a fucking cricket grind.
Yeah, definitely. It's like yeah, that exactly.
Yeah.
Like you probably heard like you know the thing with Mayhem, like what happened to the old singer.
Yeah.
Back in the day, like like about him like killing himself, and then all of a sudden like all that.
Yeah. That whole start of that black metal scene is pretty interesting. Yeah, there's many books written on that actually. I think. Yeah, I don't know if I want to be part of something like that. Like for me, like to be completely into Satan and all that shit is just as ridiculous as being into Jesus. I suppose it's like it's all like I can see how evil is cool and blah blah. All right, I can do that, and I'll give you the horns and fucking I'll draw you a pentagram. But it's not like I'm like I'm a convinced Satanist. I think Satan is it's all about life here. He runs my life. It's like it's the stupidest saying is Jesus is running your life.
Yeah, I have to agree. I have to definitely agree with you with that. Definitely.
Yeah, it's all a fairy tale. Think for yourself.
Yeah. Like, have you ever like you definitely probably have. You heard the band Gorgoroth?
Yeah.
Like, have you ever like listened to any of their albums or anything like that?
I have. It's a long time ago though, but I find it very hard to take that guy serious, especially with those documentaries they did on him. Obviously, he's one of those Norwegian people that doesn't really interact a lot with people. I don't know. Have you seen the documentary on him?
You mean like the one like the Vice documentary of true Norwegian black metal?
Yeah, I think it's that one where he explains like he grew up with one other kid in a town, this desolate, this wherever. And that kid he went to school with, as soon as they got done with school, that kid committed suicide. So the one kid that you knew all your life, and when as soon as school's done, that kid kills himself. It's like, oh, of course you're gonna be fucked up. But yeah, this is just him sitting there with a glass of wine, like, what inspires you as Satan? And then a few years later, he comes out as a homosexual, has a relationship with a male model. It's like, I'm not sure about any of this.
Yeah, I remember that interview. I remember actually I'm watching that interview, and like it actually became like a very like a lot of people made it as like a funny like internet meme online.
Yeah,
and all
yeah.
that.
Because it is, why do you take that shit so fucking serious?
I just find it hilarious.
Yeah, well, I don't know, people that go that far, I don't know, there's a thing to be said about spiritualism, I guess. But if it's like organized religion and even the Satanism part of it, I don't know, man. If you just take that as serious as those guys do,
I don't know. I know. I just about hearing about a lot of this, and metal is just like really just shocks me about it because I'm like, holy crap, I never knew anything
that's
about
what metal.
this.
That's what metal is about. It's all shock value. As
Yeah.
soon as bands like Slayer came out, that was all about shock value.
Oh, definitely.
Even the first of them all, but when Black Sabbath, they were called Black Sabbath, and in that day and age, it was a pretty shocking, I suppose, to the normal Christian people, the normal God-fearing citizens.
Yeah, that's true. Because like like a lot of, just like the whole thing with Cannibal Corpse. I remember hearing about like a while ago, like all their album covers being banned, like all of them like not allowing to go to certain countries because of their violent, like explicit lyrics, and the album covers were just too gruesome for people.
Yeah, in Germany they're not allowed to play Hammer Smash Face.
Is it still illegal there, or are they?
No, just that song they cannot play.
Oh.
Because I think it was because a teacher, there was a kid that went to school with a shirt that said Hammer Smash Face, with a Cannibal Corpse shirt, obviously.
Yeah,
and then the teacher sued the band and won. So now they cannot play that song in Germany ever. And if they do, I think they have to pay like a 20,000 euro fine or some shit. That's a story I've heard of.
Oh,
But come on, man.
I know, right?
It's fucking death metal. Like I don't think there's many death metal guys that ever smashed somebody's face with a hammer.
Nah, it's just the title name of the song. That's like
Yeah,
it's like they
it's
always said.
because we have this stupid brutal music. Nobody does anything to anyone because this is our outlet. If you want to punch somebody, go fucking stand in the mosh pit.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's what the whole pit is there for.
Yeah. But that's what you see a lot. Like, there's a lot of big festivals here in Tilburg too. And you talk to security when there is a metal fest. Security just stands in line to work these fests. Whenever there's a dance party or a hip hop party or whatever kind of stuff, there's always trouble, people fighting. But the metal fest, that rarely ever happens. There's proof that we're much more easygoing
Exactly, like we're much better
because of the music being extreme enough already. If you want to let yourself go in the mosh pit, beat some people up, dislocate your shoulder, break some skulls, whatever, and just go home and pet your cat.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's what the mosh pit's made for, just to go fucking insane.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why I always sometimes get surprised when some people don't understand the whole metal genre scene because I'm like, in my opinion, I'm like, well, I could probably understand why they wouldn't understand because it's so extreme and all that they wouldn't like understand like why people listen to all this extreme music.
Yeah. I think it's a lot of those people still can appreciate the music, but it's as soon as the vocals kick in, they usually are like, all right, that's it for me. I can see that, I can see why somebody wouldn't want to listen to a guy screaming at them for 40 minutes or however long an album is or a show. I can understand that. That's not weird.
Yeah,
It's not for everybody, but it's a huge global thing. If you look at the festivals that happen here in Europe, fucking Wacken sells out the day after the fest has been with 80,000 tickets.
yeah. I just found out that festival sold out very quickly, and I was like surprised at how many people just like it wasn't even that many days. It was just all of a sudden it was sold out.
It was the day after the festival. The next year sold out 80,000 tickets.
And just that one year, I tell
That's
you,
fucking ridiculous.
that's crazy. Just during just when it ends, all of a sudden next one comes up, you can't get it because everyone just did it.
You can't get it. It's done. It's sold out.
Has Rectal Smegma ever been to Rockin' or no?
No, I'm actually I am talking with her for a possible slot next year. That would be fucking insane. I don't know. You never know until you do actually get the confirmation and the announcement in, I suppose. I hope we get to play it. It's absolutely not my favorite festival because I don't really like it when it's that many people crammed together on one piece of land and trying to watch all these bands. But it's definitely going to be a fucking hoot to play in front of like several thousand people on one of the biggest metal fests in the world. Yeah, I would take that job.
Well, I wouldn't blame you there.
Yeah.
No,
I've been to Wacken a few times actually, and it's definitely not my favorite festival. I much rather go to Hellfest.
Oh, is that better in your opinion?
Yeah, it's got a way broader lineup, so to say. Like Wacken programs very German focused, mainstream kind of metal. Whereas Hellfest will book grindcore bands and will book stoner doom bands. Like I've been to Hellfest one year where Sun, that drone band, was playing, but also Hank Williams the third, and then has Guns N' Roses or something like that headlining. Hey, Robert Roberts played that fest too.
I see. Like, it must be like really good. Actually, very fantastic.
Yeah, that fest is for the big ones. That's my favorite one because there's always bands on the bill that I want to see. They're up to 6 stages now, so there's always something to see whenever you're walking around.
All right. I just wanted to say, like, actually, I think I'm gonna end it off here. So, I just wanted to say thank you very much for taking the time to talk.
Yeah, thank you for
trying
to pick my brain on some subjects. And yeah, thank you for your interest in Rectal Smegma, man.
Oh, you're very welcome. No worry. No matter what, I always support you guys. You are a very great band, and I'll keep on going.
Yeah, thank you very much. I hope I'll see you at the Useless Christ Fest. And when is that? That is either 30 September or 1 October.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that. All right. So I'll see you around, all right?
Take care, bro.
All right, I'll still keep in touch, though, just to say hi or anything like that.
Yeah, sure. Please do.
All right, see you around.
See you.
Alright guys, and that was my interview with the PornoGrind band Rectal Smegma. So I really hope you enjoyed it. It was a very fun interview and very interesting. So overall guys, remember, keep it metal, keep it brutal, keep it awesome. Hope to see you guys all soon in my next video. Have a great rest of your day, and always remember guys, always keep it metal, and have a fantastic day. Goodbye.